NBA Finals Game 4, a major announcement for y'all. Shea has arrived, and Alex Caruso just joined him. They are the new Michael and Scotty. Yeah, I said it, and I'm not afraid of it. They're the new Michael and Scotty, the dynamic duo that might take these boys to the championship.
Man, the Lakers, this just shows that the Lakers, their front office is messing up because to let Caruso go just so you can keep Taylor Horton Tucker was the wrong move. Caruso is the man, and he is showing up.
What's up, world? It's your boy KP. You got Mike the Expert. You tune in SNS Courtside. Of course, we're here to cover Game 4. Like I told y'all at the beginning, I mean, Shea and Caruso a ride. They're the dynamic duo. Now, if I'm OKC, I'm figuring out how to put him in the starting lineup and maybe sit Lou Dort down. I know Dort don't had some guys in the Dort chamber with the defense. I see that. But he hasn't really given you much offensively. Where Caruso, he kept him in the game, bro. There was a couple times they was ready to let go of the rope, and Caruso said no.
But and I agree with you on that. But I do think Caruso is good coming off the bench. Don't get me wrong. I just hear me out. I think he's good
Okay,
coming off the bench. I think they're good the way
let me
that
see
they
what you're
are.
saying.
Yeah, no, they look. This has been a top tier team
Mm-hmm.
the whole season. I don't think that they need to make a whole bunch of changes. They just need to make sure that they give Caruso the applicable playing time that he can really, just stay in there and play. They need to keep it the way it is. But Caruso is really keeping them in this game. I mean, he had 20 points, 5 steals last night. I mean, it's Caruso's been playing incredible.
And kept getting to the free throw line. He was living at the free throw line because they were making some boneheaded fouls on him, but and was playing tough defense on Siakam, on a number of guys. He was playing tough defense on everybody that he covered. He pretty
Yeah,
much made it hard for them to score. I mean, I kind of liken it to remember when Golden State started out the finals and Iguodala was not in the starting lineup, and then when they
yeah.
put him in the starting lineup, it was pretty much a wrap. You know, the Cavs were injured, but that was the game changer.
hmm
I just think why not, man?
I
Because
don't
the
think they
Pacers are they're a zombie. They're gonna come back again.
Yeah, I don't think they really need to put them in the starting lineup. I think they're doing what they need to do. They went back to doing their regular starters. They should do that. Let Caruso
Right.
still, yeah, let Caruso still come off on the bench. They don't need to change anything up. They were the one of the best teams in the league because they played how they played, and that's what they need to do. They need to stick to the game plan. And I mean, Caruso's really bringing it to him. Jalen Williams, he's doing his thing. He had 27
Kawhi
points. I
Leonard
mean,
2.0.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, he really stepped up. Those first 3 quarters were all about him, and then Caruso, doing his thing. And then, you get to the fourth quarter, and that's when Shea finally came in and did his thing. Shea scored the last 15 of their 16 points. I mean, in the fourth quarter, that man really, really got to it.
Yeah, Shea took him home, man. It was like, y'all know Wu Tang. We just went to the concert. It was dope.
hmm
The final chamber. It was an epic concert,
It
man.
was.
And
It
you
was.
know something expert that was dope about it? We got an appearance by Redman and Method Man. That never happens. I looked at some of these other shows, no one else got that appearance. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like that, hey, take us home with this last thing that y'all didn't see coming. And that's
hmm
exactly what I would see from that. It shows also that Isaiah Hartenstein is so important to that starting
He is.
lineup. I told you in game one, when they did that, that was a huge mistake. Because Son
hmm
gets boards, he play hard, he know his role. And they need that out there. They need somebody that's gonna make sure they're the bully. He's like a modern day Bill Laimbeer, but without like swinging on people and being dirty. I kind of see that. And he don't have a three like Bill Laimbeer, but he play
Yeah.
rugged, more maybe like a Rick Mahorn. He play rugged, he get rebounds. You know what I'm saying? He just know his role.
Yeah. I mean, he had 6 rebounds. He only had 2 points, but they don't really need him to score a whole lot of points. He had 2 points,
Mm-mm.
6 rebounds. His plus minus wasn't that good. It was a -7, but he still affected the game. He still did
He
his
do a
thing.
lot
He
of
was
stuff don't show up in that stat sheet.
exactly. And Chet Holmgren actually had a real good game. I mean, he had
Bounce
14
back.
points. Yeah, exactly. He had 14 points. He had about like 15 rebounds. He had a good game. I still think that he needs to get stronger. I do think when I see him in there, I do see him getting pushed around a lot. I mean, as tall and big as he is, I mean, he's not really that big, but I mean, getting pushed to the ground a lot. Once he
Yeah.
gets stronger, he's going to be a beast. Once Chet
I know
Holmgren
one
gets
thing though.
stronger, what's that?
Yeah, he could turn to the Slim Reaper if he put some muscle on.
Yeah.
But the part that made me concerned about him was turn that ankle, bro.
Hmm.
I mean, the next game in game 5, I would be a little concerned about that, man. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest with you because that ankle roll, he rolled it twice and it looked bad both times. They could
Hmm.
tape that up and shoot it up and you can keep playing. You got adrenaline. But now the next day when it's swelling and all that, and you already getting pushed around, that's a real area concern. They need Chet to close this thing out.
Yeah. Well, and another thing, well, no, and I agree, they do need Chet to close this thing out. I mean, even when he went down that first time, Shea was looking at him on the ground, talking about, "Hey, get up, we need you." So they, yeah, so
Yo,
they
speaking of
really
getting
need,
up, we talked about this. We talked to each other during the game. Y'all know we be on the phone during the game, or sometimes we
yeah,
even watch it together. Yo, man, we're gonna take a little sidebar. The NBA got to stop this with these players laying down on the floor until somebody pick you up. I mean, one of my favorite players, LeBron, I ain't like that when he's with the Cavs. Talking about lay on the floor until somebody come get you, man. You a grown man. Get your butt up, bro. What you
yeah,
doing?
get up. Hmm. Most
Could you
definitely.
see
Now,
yourself in the NBA? You gonna lay on the ground till another grown man help you get up?
yeah, now don't get me wrong. I agree with that. The Chet Holmgren thing was a little bit different. I mean, the dude did twist his ankle. He was hurt, so
Yeah, I
I
get
can
that.
see
I
it.
get that.
Yeah, I can see him laying on the ground. But those other situations, yeah, I mean, they do that in
Dudes
the
be doing
NBA.
it after a regular foul. It'd be a regular foul, and they just gonna lay there like this
Yeah,
until somebody help them up. Come on, man.
I mean, you look at the person wrong, they gonna fall to the ground and lay there until somebody pick them up. In the NBA these days, these boys be playing soft, boy. I
Yo,
swear.
and the other thing, y'all got to stop this, man. Y'all be fouling. Both of these teams be fouling like crazy. They push in the back, they hold, they grab, and every
Hmm.
time a ref call a foul, what, what, what? Are you serious? I
Yeah,
didn't do that. And like, come on, man. Y'all be fouling, man. It's crazy.
yeah.
Just
Well,
do like
here,
Miles Turner. Hold your hand up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I agree with that. I hate all that, extra stuff they be doing. Now, I do like that the refs are letting them play and not calling a lot of fouls. As long as they keep that even on both sides, I'm fine
Yeah,
with
they're
it.
struggling with that though.
Was that?
I think they're struggling with calling it even.
Yeah, I think they're calling it even. I mean, even if you look at the statistically, if you look at the stats, they both had the same amount of fouls, um, just about the same amount of fouls last game. I called for the same amount. I mean, I think they're pretty much calling it as even as you can for the human eye, and I like it. I like that guys are able to kind of push and shove a little bit and grab. I like that. It's kind of old school a little bit, not all the way old
Right.
school, but it's not extra soft. It's not, you look at somebody and it's a flagrant foul. I I like the way that they're calling it. It's exciting. The playoffs as a whole has been exciting this year, but the NBA
Yeah, it has
Finals
been.
is just as exciting. I like it. I hope it goes 7. I really do.
Yeah, well, when I say they're struggling, right? So look at the last game here we talking about right now in game 4. Obi Toppin got a
Hmm.
bad call where he actually made a play on the ball on Caruso, actually. You know what I'm saying? Made a play on the ball and got called for a flagrant, which I thought was a little ridiculous. And then got called for a tech for pushing Hartenstein, which I also thought was ridiculous.
Hmm.
On the other end, the Pacers had the same similar play. I believe it was Matherin that it was Neesmith went to the basket and got hard foul, and they just called it a regular foul, and it was like almost the same bang bang play. So if this was a flagrant, why is that not a flagrant? And you could even hear Doris Burke saying it, Mike Breen was saying it, RJ Richard Jefferson was saying it. Like, yo, man, that's ridiculous. Both of those either be a regular foul or a flagrant foul. It shouldn't be a
Yeah,
difference.
but I mean that's one instance. That's one instance, and that's going to happen. I mean, these are human beings calling the game, right? But for the most part, I think they're calling it even. They're calling it fair. I mean, both teams have one flagrant foul. Both teams have one technical foul. One team had, I think, 27 fouls, the other 26, something like that. So, I mean, they're
Right.
they're calling it as even as they can. One or two mistakes, I can't get mad at that. It's going to happen. It's been happening for years. I like the way it's being called. I like that guys are able to grab and push and hold and do some of the things that just to make the game more interesting. I'm glad the game is not 145 to 130. I'm glad they're
Right.
just not extra high scoring games like that. It's good. And if you look at this game, the whole game, you're thinking the Pacers are going to win this. Like,
They was in
yo, there's
control.
there's nothing OKC can do. The Pacers, all they got to do is just keep doing what they're doing, and they're going to win this. Uh, OKC came back and won. It's like it's up and down. You never know what's going to happen. I
Right.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Each game has been basically a cardiac game where you on the edge
Mm-hmm.
of your seat. I do love the fact that typically when you watch a finals game in the third quarter, they already have 100 points.
Yeah.
This was a little more old school. It was like 80 going into the fourth quarter, which I was fine with. you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's funny because people say they don't want to see no 80-point game. One of the games everybody love and want to show, and they show endlessly in the finals, is MJ and Utah hitting that shot. That was
Yeah.
an 80s game. That game was not in the
Mm-hmm.
hundreds. So, I like the defensive aspect to it. I just want to be consistent with the pushing in the back and the holds, as much as you can. But I think both teams have been getting their money off defensively, and I like the fact that both teams are pushing the envelope. We're gonna keep grabbing and holding until y'all tell us to stop and blow that whistle.
Yeah.
So,
And the Pacers, I think if they would have stuck with what they were doing, if you look in the first three quarters, anytime Shea got that ball, they just gathered around him. They just pounced on him. Anytime he
they
got the
swarmed
ball,
them.
yeah, there might be one person in front of him, but as soon as he gets it, he got two, three people, especially when he got down there in the paint. It was a team effort, and they really were holding Shea down. I mean, he wasn't just scoring at will. Then the fourth quarter came, and I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I guess they just thought their defense was so great that they can just play Shea one on one. You
Well,
know,
a couple things happened. They were up, so they thought they had it in the bag. Number two, they stopped denying the ball away from before
hmm
Shea even got the ball. But one of the biggest adjustments that got Shea off in the fourth quarter, him taking a break in the first quarter. He's been playing the first quarter completely. You can't do that with the Pacers. They're going to gas you out. And you can
hmm
see he's been having some gas problems with actually finishing the game at the very end. Because you picking up 90 feet the whole way, they turning them. You got to get 2, 3 picks just to get in the offense. Remember, they got an 8-second violation. So
yeah,
all that wear you down, where that break really made a difference.
yeah. But and of course, yeah, the break made a difference. But they got to keep smothering Shea. If you look at it in those first quarters, the thing that was keeping them in the game was Williams and Caruso. Well, Williams and Caruso, if you're counting on them to win this series for you, it's not going to happen. You got to
Right.
you got to keep Shea down. I mean, if you can keep Shea under 30, then you've done a great job. The last game that Shea had under 30, they beat the Thunder. The Thunder lost. They need to try to keep Shea under 30 if they can, get them at 27, 28, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Smother him. But when you start trying to play him one on one, it's not going to happen. He'll destroy anybody on him one on one. You got to smother him. Play that defense.
Dog, I like Nemhart, but he's too small to guard that man all game. I like his heart.
Mm-hmm.
I know they friends. They from Canada. They besties. And Nemhart doing everything he can. And he's so tired from guarding Shea, he can't really give you anything offensively. But you
Yeah.
got to put a bigger defender on him some of the time to mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would kind of do is put a bigger defender on him. It was funny because in the fourth quarter, I was like, wow, Tyrese Halliburton finally guarding him a little bit. We ain't really
Yeah.
seen that all series. He's doing all this
Mm-hmm.
cross matchup stuff. That's one thing I miss about the old NBA. Michael Jordan and Clyde Drexler was like, yo, we going to show you who's better. And Michael
Exactly.
guarded Clyde, Clyde guarded Michael. It
Yep.
wasn't no cross matchup.
Yeah.
Even when they played the Lakers, Michael guarded Magic. I mean, now Scotty came in and turned it and made a difference, but at the same time, he didn't turn down that matchup. NBA players these days, they don't want that smoke. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want to go with their counterpart on the defensive end too.
Hey, tell me this. Tell me this, and I agree totally with that. But tell me this: who's the best player on the Pacers team?
I already know this is a trick question. I know where you're
No,
going with this.
no, it's not a trick question. I'm
You
just
try to put me in. You try to put me in the spot. You know what I'm saying?
no,
You trying
I'm
to make
not.
me
I'm
look
just asking
crazy.
who do you feel is the best player on that Pacers
Well, the
team?
best player and who's leading the team or playing the best is two different answers.
Yeah, I'm not asking who's
Talent
leading the
wise,
team.
the best player is probably Tyrese Halliburton, but he hasn't proved. Like we told y'all before, he's
hmm
not a star. Sean think that, and you notice where is Sean at right now? He missing in action, because his boy did not
Oh
show up
yeah,
in the
of
fourth
course.
quarter. He didn't get it done. The
Yeah,
best player on
yeah.
their
He don't
team
want to
throughout the
come.
actual playoff been Pascal Siakam.
So I believe Pascal Siakam is the best player on that team. Period. And because I remember Pascal Siakam when he was on Toronto or whatever, and he was a real good player, and he was becoming a
He's a
star. He
number
was a
two.
friend. Yeah, he was a friend star. He was right there. He was coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's on this team. He hasn't gotten worse. It's just the way the team plays and everything. I think Pascal
Right.
Siakam is the best player on that team, and not just from what I'm seeing here, but I've always thought that Tyrese Halliburton's a real good player. But I look Pascal Siakam to me the best player on the team, and he's not a superstar. So if your best player
Mm-hmm.
on your team is not a superstar, and if I believe you're the second best player on that team, and your first best is not a superstar, then what does that make you? So they keep
Exactly.
bringing that. Yeah, and they keep bringing that stuff up. I keep hearing it all on the internet and on these other sports shows about superstars,
Mm-hmm.
Tyrese Halliburton, the superstar, and all that. No, I believe they put together a good team. The Pacers put together a good team. Tyrese
Right.
Halliburton is a good player. He can run the offense, but I mean, 14.7 assists. He's going to have to do
It's
more
not gonna
than
get it
that.
done, man.
Especially even if he has 14 points, he should have at least 14 assists, 14, 15 assists.
Right.
He's got
10. At
to.
least 10. You got to give me 10.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's got to do better. I mean, we gave him praise the last game when they won. He did his thing and all that, but that still wasn't just a grand game. But it was good. It was good for him.
Right.
Those weren't superstar numbers he put up. Those weren't superstar actions. Those were just he did good. He did real good. But now he's going to have to get to a whole nother level if he's going to get this Pacers team to win. I honestly felt better with McConnell in the game, even though I mean his
I
numbers
did
are not
too.
the way Tyrese is. But I felt that it seemed like the offense flowed better with McConnell in the game than
Mm-hmm.
Halliburton. So I mean I don't know what to say.
McConnell is like, you know what I'm saying, the road runner
Yeah.
in the Looney Tunes. He's constantly putting pressure on you. He
Mm-hmm.
don't ease up. You have to
Exactly.
defend or he gonna get to the rack. He's looking first off, McConnell played downhill the whole time looking to get to the rack. If that don't
Mm-hmm.
work, then he's looking for a good pass. If that don't work, he got the mid range and he just never backs down. I
Yeah.
think to me, to be honest, watching this, Neesmith got to be the guy that's kind of sitting on the outside looking in, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not Neesmith. Yeah, Neesmith. He's got to be on the outside looking in. Cause Mathurin doing his job. He out there busting them corner threes, playing defense, doing his thing. Neesmith, he looked scared. He looked like Nick Anderson from the Orlando Magic. He looked completely scared and shook. It was like Mob Deep. Ain't no such things as Hearthquake Crooks. He was a shook one for sure, bro. He was super shook. So I
Yeah,
would sit
well,
him down for McConnell.
yeah, and well, and I agree with you that Neesmith needs to do better. Um, I don't agree with the Matherin thing. I think he was shook too. Oh, I don't agree. I think Matherin. I
But
think
Mathurin be
Matherin and
busting shots though. He make a lot of mistakes. He has some boneheaded defensive plays, but he'll come out there and bust a three and come right back at you.
yeah. I mean, if you look at it, they both had 8 points last game. Both of them, Neesmith and Matherin, both had 8 points. But I mean, when I was watching the game, I wasn't impressed with either one of them last game, Neesmith or now with Neesmith. The thing I was impressed with him earlier in the game was he was guarding Shea well, but he didn't have to do it by himself. Of course he
Right.
can't guard Shea by himself, but he was doing his part, and then everybody else would just converge on him, and they would stop him. But offensively, it was going to be hard for him running around with Shea like that. It was going to be hard for him to be able to get off
Yeah,
offensively.
same thing that's happening in it's happening to Neesmith. He's just gassed out from chasing that dude all game.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Neesmith.
I mean
Yeah, so
Nimhart.
yeah. Wow, I'm man. Sometimes these names, Neesmith,
They're
Nemhart.
so close. Neesmith,
Yeah,
Nimhart.
yeah. Exactly. But I mean, dog, there's only so much you're gonna be able to do with Shea. I mean, you gotta get on him. You gotta get up on him. You gotta make these other guys beat you. You're gonna have to make Caruso beat you. As much praise as we
hmm
give Caruso and everything, Caruso is not gonna win a final series for you. He's just gonna add on to what you all already have. You got to make those guys beat you, and you got to take away Shea's game as much as you can if you're gonna win this, especially in that fourth quarter. You can't let Shea go off like that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man. To be honest, two of the other guys have been real consistent. Well, the other Mister Consistency for the Pacers, Miles
who's that?
Turner. That dude's an unsung hero,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
His
yeah.
defense,
Miles
blocking
Turner.
shots and all that, and hitting timely
Yeah.
buckets. Miles
Mm-hmm.
Turner been Johnny on the spot the whole finals. And I
Yeah.
told y'all in that last show, Obi Toppin need to go to the rim. You saw when he started attacking the rim, then the three started to fall.
Hmm.
Attack the rim. The dude has bounce, and they got nobody that can stop him from dunking on him.
Yeah.
He need to do it more.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Obi Toppin did his game last game, 17 points, 7 rebounds, and I mean he was getting to the rim. He had 2 3 pointers, which really they really needed at
Back to
that
back.
time, and he knocked them down. But yeah, getting to the rim, that's Obi Toppin's game. He's not a big 3 point shooter or anything like that. He had 2 threes. That's good enough for him. He was 2 from 5 for the 3 point line. That's good for him. Get to that rim, do your thing, muscle those guys down low. If you stay in the paint, you stay running to that hole, be a rim runner, and let the other guys, like Halliburton and those guys, shoot those threes, and you'll be good.
Yeah, this shows that Leon Rose has no idea what he's doing as a GM. For the fact that you basically, sent him to Indiana for less than nothing. And you
Hmm.
need him right now with the Knicks.
Yeah.
So I was happy to see him get his revenge. As it shows
Hmm.
like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. And also talking about know what you're doing, I had no idea what offense the Pacers were running in the fourth quarter, man. They had
Yeah.
so many ridiculous turnovers or taking shots late in the shot clock because they didn't
Hmm.
get anything set up. Ridiculous pick and roll with no movement anywhere else on the court. And Halliburton, man, when you were getting to the rim, it was working for you, and he just went away from it for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah. They struggled in the fourth quarter. I mean, the Pacers really gave this game away. It wasn't like the
They
Thunder
did.
went in and took this game. The Pacers were supposed to win this game, and if the Pacers would have won this game, it's almost guaranteed that they're going to win the championship. But they let this game go.
Exactly.
Now it can go either way. So and and the Thunder really have the momentum now. They're feeling good about themselves. They're going to go in there. They saw what happened those games that they lost. They see how tough the Pacers are, so they're going to come in with a different attitude. And
Mm-hmm.
they are the better. Well, they're the more talented team. If you're going to beat a talented team like that, you're going to have to play hard the whole game. And whatever's working for you, you got to do the whole game. And I think in the fourth quarter, the Pacers went away from that. So,
Yeah.
I think they kind of messed themselves up.
100%. 100%. I'll tell you this, man, and this is something that, away from both teams, the NBA has to improve. The presentation of the NBA Finals has been completely weak, yo.
Yeah.
This has been like looking at a regular season game, like presentation wise. I'm not talking about the
Yeah.
gameplay. The players have taken it up a level.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
is the finals on the court the whole time? Where's Larry O'Brien? And then they heard us complain. They put them little Larry O'Brien digital stickers on there, look crazy. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, and they said that they don't have the NBA. Remember, they used to have the finals with the cursive and the year on there. They don't
Hmm.
put that on there because player safety. When the last time you saw a guy slip on the playoff logo,
Yeah.
or when the Lakers played the Celtics or the Magic and they had the big trophy in the middle of the court? Did you
Hmm.
see anybody slip and fall on that?
No, not that I can remember.
Right. There's like there's no special presentation. We watch the World Series. It says World Series on the field. When you watch the Super Bowl, it has the Super Bowl logo on the field, man.
Hmm.
That's crazy. It's a championship round. And if you a casual fan, you don't know no better. Like a regular season game.
Yeah.
They don't even have the trophy on the jersey.
Exactly. Exactly. And especially with the two teams that are in the playoffs right now, that are in the finals, they need to do a little bit extra. 'Cause it's not like these. It's not like the Bulls or the Knicks or the Lakers or the Celtics or anybody
Right.
like that's in the finals. I mean, you got the Pacers and the Thunder. So I mean, you got to market them a little bit more. Market the finals a little bit more. The people who are not like us and just love basketball and are into basketball. You know, the other people, they got to know what's going on. They need to know a little bit more. Market these players and the teams a little bit more and what's going on and stuff like that. So I don't know, man. I think they could have done better. But my biggest thing, and I know it's away from what we were just talking about, but the
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing is my Lakers. I know my Lakers aren't in the finals,
Yo,
but my
man,
but
everything
my
lead back to the
Lakers,
Lakers for you, yo. You
yes,
wilding, bro.
this
You
shows that
wilding. You
my
know that,
Lakers messed up big time.
bro. That dude been gone for like 3 seasons. What you mean?
Yeah, but look, we let KCP go, and then we let Caruso go. The two people are two best defenders. And I've always thought that was a mistake, and it was going to come back to bite us, and it's biting us
Nah,
now.
you let Dwight, I'm about to say Dwight. My bad. You let Dwight Howard go, man. You let D12 go, and you
Yeah,
let JaVale McGee go, which was big mistakes for
all
y'all.
our defenders, all our our,
Yeah.
our, our defensive big men, and then you got our other defenders, our wing defenders. We let all our defenders go. Now we got a
Well, that's
team
because y'all was
with a
in love with THT. I told you back then the dude wasn't working with nothing. I told you back then he was a
nah,
journeyman at
and I
best.
understand. No, and I understood. I wasn't saying, hey, we should keep him and get rid of. Now, if we could have kept him and kept our defenders, but no, we had to get rid of them in order
But
to
you
give
keep
him this
making the
contract.
same mistake over and over again. You did it with THT. You
Hmm.
did it with Kuzma. Oh, Kuzma's the future. Blah blah blah.
Nah,
You
I
should
was
got
never big on
jetted him off
Kuzma.
and kept Bi.
Yeah,
That's who you should have kept.
I was never big on Kuzma because Kuzma to me was soft on the defensive end. So I was never like a big Kuzma fan. Nothing against him. I think he's a talented guy, but nah, I was never on him. I'm more of a
To be
defensive
honest,
guy. I
to be
like
honest,
defense.
look at all these guys that you have basically wasted.
Hmm.
Caruso,
Yeah,
uh, Bi
yeah,
on another team. Josh Hart balling. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Playing a role. Julius Randle playing a role.
Well, I can't say we wasted all these guys because some of the guys, I mean, we got a championship out of it getting Anthony
Yeah, well,
Davis.
yeah, you changed
Yeah.
Julius Randle into AD, so that I like that. That worked.
No,
But
we gave up Brandon Ingram to get AD, Brandon Ingram, and a
yeah,
couple other guys to get him. Lonzo, we. I mean, I think that was a good thing getting AD. I
I
wouldn't
told
pass
you
up
get
on
rid of
him.
Lonzo Ball. You see, this man ain't played basketball in 3 years.
Yeah, his injuries, man. His injuries. I mean, hey, we didn't lose anything because he been injured and he ain't been playing. So we, it worked out for us.
Yeah, it did. It did in the end of the day.
Basically,
But
when we drafted Lonzo Ball, we basically were getting AD at that time. We just didn't know it.
if
So
y'all want
hey,
to
it
be
worked
smart,
out.
y'all need to fleece somebody for AR while people still want him. For Austin Reeves, before
Hmm.
he figure out that he can't play without Luca and LeBron or some other big superstar, y'all need to fleece somebody before his actual real value starts to show.
Yeah, I don't know who we're gonna be able to fleece for that. I mean, if we can turn it into like another. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. We can't get another star, like another star player like that. It's just the way that the collective bargaining agreement is going
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff
not gonna
like that.
allow that.
Yeah, we can't get another star. So what player are we going to get better than better
Like a
than
Laurie
Reeves and Austin
marketing,
Reeves? Huh?
like a Laurie marketing.
Yeah, but we've already talked about getting Laurie Marketing. We might be able to get him without giving up Reeves from what it's looking like, but
Nah,
we'll see.
yeah.
Cause they
I
just
mean,
trying to.
like you remember when the conversation was that y'all could have got Laurie marketing for THT and players at his level, but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just wanted THT, couldn't let him go.
THT. The problem with THT is not even his talent. It's just like he just seems like he just seems out of shape. Like I don't get it, man. But hey, it is what it is.
Dog, he's like a guy at the YMCA. Dog, he's a
Yeah.
YMCA player. Like he
Oh
can
yeah.
ball there, but in the NBA, no, not
Hmm.
so much, man.
Oh yeah.
But
With
talk,
THT, you put him in the YMCA, man. That man gonna look like
oh,
Michael
he'll
Jordan,
look
though.
like Michael Jordan. Yeah, but in the league, not so much.
Yeah,
But let's
yeah.
talk about this, man. Who you got winning the next game in Game 5? I think the Pacers are going to bounce back like the Walking Dead and come back like a zombie and get another game. I don't think they're heartbroken at all. They
Yeah.
they they've shown this. They've done this the whole playoffs where they lose these games and you wonder what the heck that was going on, and they come back and win. So that's what I see.
Well, I think it depends on what we're gonna get from Chet Holmgren if he's gonna be all right. If Chet Holmgren winds up not being able to play, or if he's just extra hurt, then I think the Pacers might get this one. But if Chet Holmgren comes back ready to play and he's not hurt like that, then I'm giving it to the Thunder. I think the Thunder are going to be ready. I think they learned a lot from this last game, being down basically the whole game until like towards the end of the fourth quarter. I
Hmm.
think they're going to be ready, and they have the best player on the court
There you
out of
go.
both teams. So
They do.
I think they're going to be ready, and they're going to give it to him.
He's a new Kobe Bryant. Now he just need an actual shoe deal. I know he's rocking them Converse, but come on,
So yeah,
Nike,
yeah.
put him over there with the jump man. But that's a story
Oh,
for another day.
oh. Real quick,
What up?
Shea had 30 something points but had zero assists. That man had no assists.
They still won the game.
I know they
I've been
still
saying
won. this.
this for a while. Shea shouldn't be the point guard. He should be the shooting guard on their team. They need
Yeah,
to go
that's what I'm
find
saying.
a point guard, and Shea is the
But
shooting guard. He shouldn't really shouldn't even be
but
playing
here's the
shooting
thing.
guard.
Here's the
But
thing. The team only had 11 assists compared to 21 assists for the Pacers, and then also the 3 point. They only shot 18% from the 3 point line. So I mean, the Pacers gave this game up. They really should have won this game. The Thunder didn't really play a good game. They played a bad game. So I think if the pace I mean if the I mean the Thunder played a bad game, excuse me. And I think if the Thunder just plays a little bit better this next game, I don't think they're going to do as bad as they did this game. That's why I think the Thunder are
well,
going to win because they're a more
the
talented team.
Pacers could go into this feeling like we should have won this one. If we tighten up the fourth quarter, we will win it. We've already won there once. So and they're a team that's won multiple games on the road to get here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think their confidence is broken. I think we setting ourselves up for a 7-game series. I really feel like the Pacers win
Oh
the
yeah,
next one, the Thunder win the next one, and then we figure out who's the champion.
no, I think the
That's
Thunder's
where
going
we're
to win
going
the
with this.
next
This is a 12-round bout, bro. This is a 12-round
one.
fight. This is a knockdown drag out.
Yeah, I don't want the Pacers to win because that's Sean's team, and I'm hating on
Stop
Sean
being a
right now.
hater,
So
man. This is an
yes,
even matchup like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, bro. This is an even matchup. Styles make
yeah,
fights. We about to find out who's gonna be the champion.
we'll find out.
But talking about finding out, we want to find out what y'all think. We want to know who y'all think is gonna win this game. And why do you think the Pacers lost? Or what did the Thunder do to win? We want to hear from y'all. Continue to like, share, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.